After months of searching for the perfect base vehicle for our camper truck conversion, in this episode we finally reveal which truck we actually bought and why we chose it. We're Pete and Hayley. Fed up with the 9 to 5 and dreaming of a simpler life of self-sufficiency, we're taking a leap into the unknown, starting with a tiny house camper build that we can take to explore permaculture communities and other off-grid projects. This is our journey. This is the road to off-grid.
The road to off-grid, off-grid.
If you've seen our other videos, you'll know that we've recently been to look at a lot of different trucks, trying to figure out what's the best base vehicle to use for our camper build. We didn't really have a clue what we wanted at the start, but just going to see the different options, getting in them, getting a feel for the size was really useful to narrow it down.
I think this is too big.
You guys were also a massive help in the comments, and some of you had some great suggestions and advice. In case you missed it, here's a rundown of the contenders.
Shopping for trucks. We're sitting high, we're riding strong. Shopping trucks.
It started with the 𝐬𝐫𝐿 Euro Cargo removals truck. It was 10 minutes away, it was cheap, and it had space over the cab for a bed, which at the time we thought was one of the most important features. It was just huge. We were really excited by the possibilities with all that space. But it wasn't in the best condition. The box had corrosion, which would be a massive job to sort out, especially the rear door.
Hello. Next was my genius idea of a fridge truck. My thinking was that because it's already really well insulated, it would save us a lot of time and money. We could not find a fridge box that was in our budget that wasn't completely wrecked.
This one has a nice plant.
It turns out these get water ingress and go mouldy and sometimes rotten. It smells real bad. Which we found out when a rotten door broke off and almost fell on us. The comments were also quick to warn us away from fridge boxes and made their dislike of DAFs very clear.
Next, we wanted to take a look at the 𝐬𝐫𝐿 Daily 72C. Even though it was a 7.2 tonne truck, it just felt more familiar than the cab-over trucks we'd looked at before.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
It has a much higher payload compared to a conventional truck because the truck itself weighs less. It has a really nice modern cab. It's actually more like an SUV than a truck. We also figured it would be much easier to put a bed over the cab because we don't have to worry about allowing for the cab to tilt to get to the engine. The Daily was great on paper, but we realised that the practicality alone wasn't really exciting us and found ourselves thinking that it was just a bit dull. This is the point where we started to realise a few things. Firstly, we didn't really care about the state of the box on the back because we figured we would just tear it down and build up something new anyway.
Yeah, I think we realised that designing and building something from scratch would be more fun and also just better than trying to repurpose something that was never designed to live in.
Secondly, we're not really very keen on the idea of having modern computer systems or things like AdBlue that can go wrong in the truck. We want something that we can maintain and look after ourselves.
Yeah, so this means you're probably looking at something a bit older, like early 2000s or late 1990s.
Whatever base vehicle we do choose, we want it to have a bit of character. Something quirky and fun.
Yeah, something a bit different.
Yeah. So next up, and by popular demand, we managed to find a little old horse box on eBay, just down the road.
We're taking a horse box, making it into a house.
And it was at a scrapyard with no service history, no MOT, so we weren't really expecting much. But if nothing else, at least we could get an idea of what they're like.
This is wood, and this metal is rotten. But that's okay, because everything would come off.
So we can roam, don't worry.
As we thought, it had a rotten box on the back, but overall it wasn't too bad. It needed some welding under the cab, and definitely a good service.
Oh.
But it has the same Mercedes drivetrain as the Vario, which are known for their reliability and is something we could actually work on ourselves without any of the fancy computer systems.
So we can roam.
You see how loud it is?
Well, that's not too bad.
What do you think?
Kind of love it.
Do you? Why?
I don't know. I love the simplicity of it,
Yeah.
and I think it would come up really nice.
It has... Oh, it's gone. No, we had radio for a second.
Last up is the fire engine. This was my favourite vehicle by far. We actually ended up seeing 3 of them. It ticks a lot of the boxes. They're low mileage, they're really well maintained, they're a great price, a great payload, and we can sell a lot of the firefighting equipment as well. And overall, just a massive cool factor.
Fire engine, gonna live my fire engine dream. It's big and red, what could go wrong? This is my fire engine song.
So big.
It's big and red, what could go wrong? This is my fire engine song.
The downsides were it's 15 tons, so I'd need a full Category C driver's license.
I feel like I'm living a lot of childhood dreams for many people right now inside a fire truck.
Dismantling the rear with all of the equipment would be a really big job, as it's got a lot of complicated wiring and custom parts that would need to be sorted through.
Stop! Fire engine!
We ended up going for a drive-in one, which was intense, and it turns out it is not a comfortable ride.
It's rapid.
So knowing what we know now, and knowing that it doesn't really matter what's on the back of the truck, it really just comes down to 4 things. Can we afford it? Can we look after it and maintain it ourselves?
Can it fit all the stuff that we need to live in it? And do we think it's super cool?
Yeah. So can you guess what we chose? It was a very easy decision.
Horsebox, camper truck. Horsebox, human home. Don't worry about the rust or the rotten floor. We'll take it all off and build much more. Horsebox, camper truck. Horsebox, human home.
Welcome to our 1997 Mercedes horse truck.
Did you guess that that is the one that we would choose?
Because we didn't.
Yeah, we were just kind of in love with it at first sight. So yeah, for all of its rotten aspects and damage and work that needs doing to it, it kind of doesn't really matter to us. We saved so much money getting something that was really cheap that, yeah, we're willing to just put in all the effort ourselves, I guess, to get it up to scratch. But yeah, it needs a lot of work doing to it, but we're completely here for it.
We're going to break it down into 4 steps. The first one is to sort out the cab, right?
Yes, we need to get this area nice, habitable, clean, somewhere nice to come and sit and have our sandwiches when we're out here working on the build.
For the next year, however long it takes.
Step 2 is to remove this big old box.
Yes, it's made of wood and metal. The wood has gone completely rotten and the metal is rusting and flaking away. It's just terrible. That's as far as we could make it pivot. Have some bits to learn.
Step 3 is to service everything. So once the box is off the back, we can get to the engine, the gearbox, the drivetrain, everything, and give it a good, proper service.
So the final step, step 4, will be putting the actual new box on the back, which will be a very large step and probably broken down into a few hundred smaller steps. But that's it, that's the plan. And it feels manageable to just have it as 4, so we're going with it.
Yeah, it's definitely more manageable when you break it down into these little steps, and I like the idea of working on the cab first. It seems like a small little project just to get things going. Yeah.
Small and achievable.
Yeah, and when it comes to the box and the actual main conversion, we haven't really figured it all out. We're gonna, do our research, look around, see what we like, and just kind of go with it, won't we? Just see kind of what happens.
Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, love to hear them. Next time on the Road to Off-Grid.
Start cleaning, shall we?
I think just shove it in there.
Oh gosh.
Build up.
Ooh, there we go. Should we pull this lever? Yes, she's a... Oh.
I'm just gearing myself up to say.